So Manchester United lose their first season opener to a newly promoted side in their history. 2-0 it finished to the Tigers. As we welcome in Rob Dawson, our Manchester correspondent, to talk more about what we saw today. Outfought, Rob, outplayed. Is Carrick under pressure already with this result?
Well, I wouldn't say he's under pressure, but it was certainly a disaster today in terms of the result, the performance. I think the one thing that you have to do against a newly promoted team on the opening day of the season is match their intensity, and it just never happened. You know, you can talk about technical quality and being better on the ball and creating better chances, but there just wasn't really anything there in terms of passion from the United performance. There wasn't any energy, there wasn't any athleticism in that display. And you can see by the stats there, you could perhaps look at the stats and think that maybe United, if you haven't watched the game, and think maybe United dominated the game and were a little bit unlucky. That just wasn't the story of the game. If anything, Hull could maybe feel a little bit hard done by that they didn't win by more goals, and United really were well beaten.
Yeah, it's taken the air of cautious optimism out, I suppose, of some of the fans coming into this season. Given what happened last season, you now know that Carrick is in permanently. You've seen the new signings that have come in, Stevie, and then to lose this way on the opening day to a newly promoted side, it's not a great start. No,
it's not a good start. I mean, it was always going to be a difficult game, but it's a game you expect them to win. If you're Manchester United and you want to be at least in the top four and maybe fighting for the title, you have to go to Hull and win. And they never looked like winning. And honestly, they made one chance in the game. One chance is all they made. And Bomo had a great shot in the first half that was saved, but it didn't come from Manchester United. It was a defensive mistake. So in the whole of the 90 minutes, they made one opportunity, and Bomo had it when it was 2-0. Other than that, they were slow. The build-up took forever. I mean, Tielemans and Santos making the league debuts were bang average, and actually looked as though they thought they were playing for a middle-of-the-table team, because there was no urgency about them, there was no energy about them. I'm really not sure how to explain what they did in the game, because basically they went sideways, and that was about it. There was no forward passing, no penetrating passing, and it was slow. And Bruno Fernandes was never in the game because of that. And so Bruno Fernandes, there's no question, is their number one target to get the ball to if they're going to create chances or score goals. And they couldn't get him it. And so they delivered nothing going forward, and deservedly, as Rob said, got beat 2-0.
Bruno Fernandes was talking after the game. He said, same mistakes as we did last season. Every away game, we give too much of the ball to them.
Well, I mean, if the stats showed that they had, double the passes, double the possession, stuff like that. So I would say it's probably more important what you do with the ball than necessarily just having the ball. If you're not penetrating against the defense, if you're just playing sideways and back, who cares if you have the ball? You're not doing it. The hole are up, fine. Have the ball back there. Pass the ball around without actually hurting us. It's how you're able to have that intensity against a team that's come up, that understands they have to be a little bit defensively conservative. They're not going to just open up and let you get at them. So then what are you doing when you have it? And if you're going backwards and square, you're doing the job for them.
And if you're going to sit and watch this game, if you're Man United, and think it's about what you didn't do going forward, well, defensively, you were a bit of a mess as well, let's be honest. When the opposition is 28% of the ball, and they've got nearly the same amount of shots on target as you, I mean, I'm sorry, Harry Maguire for me is not a top-class centre-back. He's not. He's great with the ball at his feet, but in terms of defending, I'm sorry, I don't see it. And Heaven is just okay. You got Luke Shaw. The second goal, put your head where you might get hurt. I mean, he's getting out the road of it. I just don't. I'm so surprised at this Manchester United side, what I saw today. I just didn't see any urgency either defensively or in the attack.
Which is weird, especially when Carrick had said what he'd said before the game, that it wasn't going to be easy against a newly promoted side. It didn't look like a side that were ready enough to expect that, did it?
Well, no. The way the game started for me, you're sitting watching and you're going, this is it. This is what we're going to get, and it's just going to be a case of Hull are going to try and go on the break, and so Manchester United just have to be smart. And so they haven't defended well, they haven't attacked well, and they haven't been smart.
It's tough to win matches.
Not a lot to get a hold of in a positive sense, is it?
There wasn't a lot of positivity. I mean, Rob, you were at the game today, and then came the news that the trains weren't running back to Manchester from Hull.
Oh, dear,
I mean, yeah, just to kind of rub salt in the wounds of the United fans who made that 100-mile trip to Hull. They got told halfway through the second half that all the trains home had been cancelled, and the Hull fans greeted that with a massive roar and started singing "You're going home in an Uber," which was going to cost about £150.
Wow.
You know, it really couldn't have got much worse for those United fans who made that trip to Hull today. They've seen the team put in a woeful performance. All that pre-season optimism has disappeared over the course of 90 minutes, and then they've had to face a taxi ride home because the train has been cancelled. It couldn't really have got much worse.
Were Manchester United better when Marcus Rashford came on? Let's talk a little bit about him if we can, Rob, because he's been given the number 9 as well. Is that a statement from Carrick?
Yeah, I mean, perhaps a little bit. Carrick has been asked about that and said, no, it's just a number. But, you know, you have to kind of think that he's been given the number 9 shirt because United see him as a key part of their plans going forward. Obviously, he's had to come on today earlier than Michael Carrick would have wanted. He came on at half-time because Patrick Dorgu, who started on the left wing, was dreadful in the first half. When Marcus came on, I think the first thing to say is that he got a nice reception from Man United fans. There was concerns that he maybe would get a little bit of a mixed response after what's happened over the last 18 months, but he clapped the away fans and they gave him a nice reception. Once he got going on the pitch, he was okay, which really made him far better than most of the United players who played today. He at least tried to get the ball down and attack down that left-hand side. He had a couple of opportunities to create chances and cross and have shots himself. Nothing really came off, but that was really the story of United in general and not just him. I think at the moment, obviously, we have still got a little bit of time before the transfer deadline. I think if a big club were to come in with an offer for Marcus Rashford, United would consider that. It doesn't look like that's going to happen at the moment. And as things stand, he's going to be a part of this squad going forward. And judging by the performance today, he's going to have to play a key role because the next time United play against Ipswich at Old Trafford in a week's time, you'd expect that Michael Carrick is going to have to make changes to his starting 11. And one of those changes is that Marcus Rashford is going to have to start.
What about more incoming players? Did we see today that there is a need for further reinforcements?
I think so. We're obviously expecting Carlos Baleba to come in from Brighton. They've agreed a £70 million deal with Brighton. That should go through next week. He will add vital energy in the centre of the pitch. One thing United have lacked not just today, but over the last few years is legs and athleticism in midfield. Carlos Baleba will add that. I think you could argue beyond that they're probably short of another left back to help Luke Shaw, or at least add competition at left back. I think they probably need help up front as well. They spent a lot of money last summer on revamping their forward line, but you could argue that they still need another centre forward. Benjamin Sesko has played today for the last 20 minutes, although he's not fully fit. Joshua Zirkzee was on the bench today. There's been interest in him from Italy, from Napoli and from Juventus. There is still a chance that he may go. If he was to go, United would have to bring in another option to take the load off Benjamin Sesko. It was one of those performances where you could watch United today and make a case that they need reinforcements in every single position. I think the only player who came out of today with any kind of credit at all was probably Senna Lamens, and he's picked the ball out of his net twice. That just kind of sums up where United are and what kind of performance they put in at Hull today. Yeah,
so a tough start for Michael Carrick, and as Rob mentioned, it is Ipswich next up, and that is another newly promoted side coming up for Manchester United. Anything you'd like to add before we move on, Stevie?
No, not at all.
No, Kasey? Okay.
I mean, again, how in your opening match is there not the energy?
Yeah,
that would worry me a lot if I was Michael Carrick.
Okay.